Hi, peeps. I'm Auriel Grace, and this is a spiritual show. So, tonight we're going to be talking about animal totems. I'm going to introduce you to Henry. Well, he's one of the Henrys. So, say hi to Henry, and he'll be back in a second, won't you? Yes. All right. He is my co host tonight. And yes, I have several Henrys because, well, I love elephants. Elephants rock. They do. All right. So, I'm going to be sending out my newsletter this week. If you want to check the news, sign up for the newsletter or check out my blog, you can go to aurielgrace.net and do that. All right. So, hop, skip, and jump. All right. And also, I've got a couple of books that are going to be free on Amazon this week, the Book of Isabel and the Book of Amber. So if you want to check those out, they go for sale on 5/1, and they're free until 5/5. Yeah. So I think that's Thursday. Pretty sure it's Thursday. All right. So Henry and I, my friend here, um, he reminded me today because that's what elephants do. Elephants have really long memories, and they assist also, like with reminding you of things. Okay, so Beltane is also May 1st, and for those of you who don't know what Beltane is, it's May Day. It has been a day that it has ancient, like way back in the day. And the reason why is because it's the height of spring, right? It's between now and the summer solstice. And so it is the height of spring. And it is a day where people used to build big bonfires and they would have ceremonies. Um, it is a day to celebrate fertility and growth and abundance. And you'll notice that a lot of festivals go on around Beltane that maybe, I don't know, they might not be for Beltane, but it's a great time to have festivals. So what people would do is they would dance around a maypole and they would take big ribbons and tie them to the top of the pole, and they would alternate the ribbons, different colors, and the boys would go one way or the men would go one way and the women would go the other way, and they would dance around the maypole, and the dance symbolizes the union of masculine and feminine. That's pretty cool, huh? So it symbolizes masculine and feminine energies, and it's believed to bring in fertility, abundance, and prosperity through the dance. So leaving flower crowns and wreaths and things like that on people's doors, that was something that people do and did for May Day as gifts. And also leaving small offerings for the Fae folk. So, what do the Fae folk like? Well, they like honey. They like honey or cream at the base of a tree, and they like. I remember there was a lady who used to leave chocolate kisses all over, all over her farm for the Fae folk, and so that was pretty cool. I have a little area on the second shelf of my altar that has, like, it's specifically for the Fae folk. It has little stuff in it that I know that they like. And so that's how I honor them right now. So remember to make space for those little magical beings because, hey, they're pretty cool, right? So celebrate May Day. Alrighty. Hey, Dana. Hi, Bonnie. Hey, Mom. Henry says hi to you. All right. So animal totems, animal totems aren't things that we worship. They're things that symbolize things for us humans, and it's how we connect to nature too. So animal totems, people have looked for signs of animals for a long time because they symbolize different things, right? So, like this elephant here, Henry. Henry is a bull elephant. So he has his little tusks right there. And so he is a young elephant. I have a bigger elephant out out in the living room on the Buddha altar. But I decided to use him because he's easier to hold. He's light. He's wood and he's light. But Henry is a bull elephant, so he's a male. And elephants are renowned for their memories. They can remember so much. I love elephants. Dana knows I love elephants. My mom knows too. And so um, they he would be more of, yeah, he reminds me of things, but also he would be, because of his tusks and he's learning how to be a bull elephant, he would be a great protector, right? Because he's protecting the herd. So he is what I call my animal totem. Even though I have animals, different carvings and things like that around the house, or stay there. There he goes. Even though I have different carvings, I have a turtle and I have um, a water buffalo, and I have some other animals hanging out. But your animal totems are the things that you totally resonate with, that you really like. Like my mom, she loves butterflies. In fact, I have my butterfly around here somewhere. I don't know where I put it now. I know it's on my desk. Ah, here it is. So my mom loves butterflies, and we'll talk about butterflies tonight. But if you like butterflies, I'm also going to give you a list of flowers that you can plant to call butterflies into your gardens. So I like butterflies too. And think about it. What animal totem or what animal are you most attracted to? What do you love? Because I know, you don't get to see elephants every day, right? So that's why I have a whole bunch of Henrys, and they're all in one place right now. It's a big herd of them. So what animals resonate with you? Put them in the comments so I can see them. And this is a great little book right here. Hey, Kim. This is a great book. It's called the Animal Speaks book, and this is the pocket handbook one. This is the one you can carry around with you. There's a bigger Animal Speaks book. You can get it on Amazon, and I think you can get it at most bookstores. And it's from the same man, Ted Andrews, and it's called Animal Speaks. Except it's a big book, and I've always been meaning to get that book. So, tiny miniature dots. All right, there you go, Bonnie. Mom says butterflies, hummingbirds, and cats. Hey, Iris. We're just talking about what is your favorite. If you're just joining us, what are your favorite animals? What are the ones that really resonate with you? One of the ones that you feel attracted to, that you really like a lot. Put them in the comments. I want to know. We'll look them up, okay? Because we're gonna look. We'll look them up in the book when I'm through. It'll be fun for us. All right. Butterflies, hummingbirds, and cardinals. All right, Dana. We have lots. I've got hummingbirds on the thing tonight. Butterflies and hummingbirds. Yeah. All right. So Remember that. I'll remind you every couple of animals because I chose animals tonight and birds because of uh, their symbolism to growth, rebirth, and so I wanted to share those with you for just, you know, so when you see those types of animals or reptiles or birds, that you'll know, like maybe you're getting a sign, because the oracles, that's what they did, is they would look for signs in nature to help them discern like what they should do for their tribes, what they should do for their people, what signs were there for different people. And so when we go outside and we see these different animals and we feel like, oh, they caught your attention, then maybe you're receiving a sign, right? You guys are always asking me for like signs. There you go. Here's a way you can see a sign that you're on the right track, or maybe that you should be cautious, or maybe you should turn around. Okay, all right. So remember that as we're going through the animal totems. And as you're listening, put, you know, for those of you who are just joining us, I think a couple of other people just joined us. For those of you just joining us, remember to put your animals in the comments and we'll go over them if they're not ones. You guys are like hawks and dragonflies. Ooh, yeah. All right, Kim. Eagles. Okay, we got it. All right. So we're going to start off with the bat. You guys are probably like, bats? What are you talking about? But we have to think about transformation and transition and change. And we're talking about rebirth because it's spring, right? So bats are really cool because they work off sonar, right? They don't really see things. They like feel around to check out where they're going. And you never really see like one bat. Yeah, well, you might, but most of the time they go together. They all fly out together, right? And so bats in some cultures and Native American cultures, I believe too, um, they represent transition, transformation, and rebirth. So bats can assist us with moving through and accepting our darkness, right? Because all of us have that, to understand our light and bringing balance into our life. And that's what they do. And they do it intuitively, right? Because, they can't see. So when we like blindfold ourselves, we can't see. So then our other senses and our intuition, our inner guidance assists us with whatever we're doing, wherever we're going. Right? So bats. I've always thought that was interesting, you know? Okay, and bats also live in caves, and caves in ancient times represented, those were entrances into the underworld. Like you could go to a cave and you could reach the underworld, right? Okay. So this is one of my favoriter ones. And I looked around for it today, and I used to have a little pin, and I couldn't find the pin today. But bees, I have a thing for bees. If you've seen any of my posts or followed me for very long, I love bees. Bees are so cool. Like, I love taking pictures of bees. I love their fuzzy velvetiness and everything. No, I won't be petting any bees, but bees are awesome. And without bees, we wouldn't be able to, like, those are our pollinators, right? They're the ones that take pollen and transfer it over. so they can create their honey. So bees are known for diligence, right? They're focused and they're meticulous in what they do. So bees work as a community. So they work with, and they have like established roles in their hierarchy. So they're very organized. And every bee has a responsibility to their hive, their community, right? Okay. Bees teach us to celebrate our efforts individually and as communities. They remind us that through focus and dedication, we can accomplish all our goals. Because look at what bees have accomplished. Look what they do. They accomplish a lot, those little bees, those busy bees. And so they remind us to celebrate our successes on all levels. All right. So I put bees in here because the Celts, they believed that bees represented celebration, to celebrate. And bees do that. They help us with celebrating. And they also, we can see with them how they bring life because they're pollinating our plants, our trees. They're assisting with all of that. And so, because they assist with that, we get to eat what they pollinate, right? So, save the bees. And remember, too, one of the, back in the day, they used honey as an antibiotic. And so, if somebody got hurt, and there was honey around, they packed that wound with honey to keep it from getting infected. They knew that it would help. In fact, Henry V, King Henry V, was actually shot in his cheekbone with an arrow, and they were able to get it out of his cheekbone, and then they packed that wound with honey. And everyone thought he was going to pass away. But because the priests knew that honey would help keep the wound clean and heal it, they just kept packing the honey in. So there you go. Fun thing, fun fact. All right, here are the flowers to plant for bees: Elysium, bee balm, borage, catnip, coneflower, cosmos, dill, hollyhocks, lavender, parsley, poppy, rosemary, sage, salvia, sunflower, thyme, verbena, and yarrow and zinnia. All of those are really pretty flowers. And you don't have to plant them right underneath your window. You can plant them like away in their own little space in your yard if you have a yard. Okay. All right. So the next one is, the next animal is a buffalo. So buffaloes, I don't know if you've ever seen a buffalo, but they are huge. I had heard about buffaloes. I had seen them on TV. I had seen paintings of them. But when I was in, all right, when I was in Colorado, there is a ranch with buffalo, and it's let's see, so it was north. I can't remember exactly where it was, but there was this huge, like, kind of plain area, and there are these humongous buffaloes. Holy cow! They're like as big as a car. These things, and it's amazing to see them. It's like seeing an elk or a moose. That's how big they are. They're just huge and so majestic too, because like when they're just, pacing and walking along, it's just like, they're just so comfortable in their space, right? Yeah. All right. So buffaloes are huge. You don't want to get too close to one because, again, from what I understand, they can't see very good. So if you make a quick move, they might charge you, and they do have big horns. All right. So buffalo reminds us to appreciate the cyclical nature of life, birth, death, transition, and transformation, right? Native Americans used every part of the buffalo. They used every part. Everything was useful. So the buffalo also teaches us how to be resourceful. You know, it teaches us to use those tools that we have on hand, and reuse them as well. All right. So the buffalo spirit also brings us abundance, and it helps us bring that abundance in so we can care for ourselves and our families, and our communities. Because when the natives went to go hunt buffaloes, they would only take the buffaloes that they needed. They would take how much they needed and leave the herd, right? They would just leave the herd so the herd could go on. And that's what they did. So remember, to like be resourceful. All right. Being resourceful is good. All right. All right. Yeah, your lavender, I bet, does attract a lot of bees. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, gecko lizards and praying mantis. Ooh, I love praying mantises. I saw a praying mantis, and it was like that big. It was on the window of the museum in downtown Greensboro. Holy cow. At first, I didn't know what I was looking at. And then as it kind of moved, I was like, ooh, wow. I tried to get a picture of it, but the shine from the sun, it just wouldn't work. I was so bummed. All right, so if you're just joining us, please put your favorite animal totem, insect, reptile, or bird in the comments, and we're going to go through and look them up in the Animal Speaks book, okay? Okay. All right. So, y'all like butterflies? All right then. So we're going to talk about butterflies. Where did I put that? Butterfly. I did a psychic tip about butterflies too. And so if you want to go back and look at that psychic tip, you can. But butterflies, they're so pretty, right? They come in all sizes, shapes, and colors. They do. And they represent rebirth, new beginnings, fresh starts, growth, and transformation. Because what happens? They start out with little tiny eggs, they're little tiny eggs, and then they turn into a caterpillar, and they eat everything. And then they go into a cocoon and they transition into a butterfly, right? Metamorphosis. So butterflies fill us with hope, the energy of hope, right? It's such a strong energy. It's that thing that just keeps us going. Yeah. Optimism, enthusiasm, and the appreciation of beauty in nature. So butterflies remind us of our connection to the spirit world too. They do. Because everyone I talk to, like who has had a past loved one, um, they connect it to butterflies. So when they see a butterfly, they know that that loved one is watching over them, taking care of them, reminding them that they're okay, they're good, giving them that sign of optimism, right? Hope. All right. So butterflies remind us of our connection to the spirit world. They remind us of our free will and freedom to be ourselves. Because look at what they do. Flower to flower to flower, flower, flower. They're just all, they go from place to place. It's really cool. Downtown And downtown, they have like an area that's got all the butterfly flowers and stuff. And there's lots of butterflies down there. It's really cool. Okay. So they remind us of free will and that other people have free will, right? Yeah. Sometimes we just have to step back and go, okay, yeah, you be you. Have fun with that and let them be who they are, right? Yeah, dragonflies. Dragonflies do that too. They remind people that they're not alone, right? Okay. So give yourself the opportunity to spread your wings when you see a butterfly. Step into your true self. Transform into that wondrous being that you truly are. Hmm? Okay. So the flowers to plant for butterflies are milkweed, coneflower, butterfly bush, and goldenrod. Those are some flowers that you can plant for the butterflies. All right. And I had this this was hilarious. I think I put this in the psychic tip, but I had this Jeep Cherokee and I wanted to sell it because I wanted to buy this other car. And I drove the Jeep over to the parking area that I was going to show it to this guy who wanted it. And I drove it over, it was fine. I got out of the car and I met him and he opened all the doors. He was checking everything out and stuff. And when he opened one of the back doors, all these butterflies flew out. I'm like, I drove that car for 20 minutes. I didn't see anything in there. So they all flew out. The dude was like, okay, so this is a sign. I'm taking the car. I was like, all right. I just thought that was hilarious because both of us are standing there. We're like watching them fly out. So it was pretty cool. Anyway, all right. I'm sure y'all have butterfly stories too. And so, but butterflies do show us that, and we need to again plant flowers for them, okay? Because they help us. Yeah. All right. So the next one is the dove. I decided to do the dove because I actually have been seeing a lot of doves and hearing them too. And so I was like, okay, all right, we'll do this. You guys are letting me know you want to be in on this show. So we're talking about doves. All right, so doves encourages you to practice unconditional love, both of yourself and for others. This means loving without judgment or expectation, accepting yourself and others as they are, and embracing the true essence of compassion, right? So sometimes we'll give somebody a gift and we'll expect something in return, right? And or we'll give somebody a love and affection and we'll be expecting it in return. But if you can live without expectations, you won't be disappointed. And also, you're giving from your heart. You're giving love. And you're standing in a place of love and compassion. All right? So, doves symbolize peace, hope, renewal, and spirituality. They represent transformation, purity, and the Holy Spirit. Seeing a dove is a sign that you're about to enter into a peaceful period of your life. They are known to be messengers, signifying that loved ones are at peace. So I tried to take some things from lot of different places for tonight, so that you could hear like how different cultures view things. But many people, in fact, every one of them that I read, um, it's always love, compassion, and peace. Those three things that go with all of the cultures that I looked at. So yeah, yeah. So you want that, right? Doves. I like doves. I like to hear doves. So they're very. It makes me feel very peaceful or at peace. Yeah. All right. So now we get to move to the frogs. So go find a frog and kiss it. Just kidding. So frogs can live on land and water. In fact, I had a couple frogs in Florida that lived out by my little palm fan tree thing, and I could hear them out there, singing their little ribbit song, and I loved it. I like the sound of frogs. It's To me, it's very peaceful. So they represent adaptability, and the frog embodies a dual nature because they can live on land and they can live in the water. Um, and so they have a dual nature of existence, existing on the physical world and connecting with the spiritual realm. So water always represents emotion and spiritual realms as well. Well, caves do too. Um, so they can walk in both places. All right, frogs are associated with rain and abundance, signifying fertility and the cycles of life. Because again, the frog starts out as an egg, it turns into a tadpole, and then it turns into a frog. So there. So canaries, I love canaries. They're so cute. Oh, well, that's beautiful, Iris. Here, I'm gonna share these. I'm gonna share these with y'all. So Iris, so she says her mother, may she rest in peace, used to breed canaries for her funeral. We put them in little bird boxes so the grandkids, for her funeral, we put them in little bird boxes so the grandkids could let them fly away. At the same time, they were lowering her in her coffin. They all flew into her grave, and my son had to take them out. She loved her canaries. It was so emotional. Wow. Wow. That's pretty. That must have been disconcerting and kind of cool at the same time, huh? Whoa. All right. So Bonnie says soon after her mom's passing, a little yellow butterfly was flying around her. No trees, plants, bushes around. I was at work at the flight line. Just wanted to share. Well, that's cool, Bonnie. Isn't that cool how that happens? Yeah. See, we're never alone. Sometimes some of you say that. I'm alone. You're never alone. Never. Pay attention to what's going on around you. You never know what could happen. All right. So I see a couple of you have joined. So we're talking about animal totems tonight. That's what we're doing. And if you have an animal totem, I'm going to be um, reading from here about your animal totems tonight. And so please put them in the comments. All right. And tomorrow this will be the blog. I will be putting up the blogs in case you guys want to read these. Um, and in case you wanted to know about hummingbirds, how to make their food. Mhm. and the flowers to plant, because that's what we're talking about next. All right. So, hummingbirds. Some of you have put up hummingbirds. Hummingbirds are really cool. Hummingbirds are associated with joy, freedom, and new beginnings. Look at their bright jeweled tones, because they're so pretty. They're so beautiful, right? And they reflect that high energy that they have, because look at them. They're just like 100 miles an hour all the time. The hummingbird is known for its perseverance and how fierce it is. Hummingbirds are pretty darn fierce. They are. They're tireless and they are very resilient. The hummingbird reminds us to enjoy life, treasure the small and simple moments, pleasures, time. Treasure that. That's what the hummingbird is trying to tell you when you see one. They are. I knew this one lady, she had a cabin out in the woods, and she had hummingbird feeders all around her cabin. And it always sounded like a helicopter at her house, because there were so many hummingbirds that came. They were always buzzing around her cabin. And so it was pretty awesome to see the jeweled colored ones. All they're just so beautiful. Some of them are really small, some of them are a little bit bigger, some of them fight. Hmm. Yep, they do. But it was really cool to see all those like hundreds of hummingbirds coming to her house to feed. It was really cool. All right. So this is a recipe that's recommended by the zoos. This is what they do at the zoo for hummingbirds. Is they recommend sugar to water ratio for hummingbird feeders is 1 to 4. All right, 1 part white granulated sugar to 4 parts water. So, and that translates to using 1 cup of sugar for every 4 cups of water. And that's how you can make the best hummingbird juice. And if you don't want to do that, you can plant some flowers. So, the flowers you can plant are cardinal flowers, columbines, bee balms, petunias, salvias, trumpet honeysuckles, and you can also plant hollyhocks. They love hollyhocks, and they like plants that they can fly straight into. So anything that is growing on a vine that you can grow up, it's a trumpet type of plant, flower, grow those so that the hummingbirds will come in, because they like that, right? All right, let's see what you guys got here. We're going up here, Dana. Let's see. Oh, shoot. All right. I covered the hummingbirds, butterflies, and cats. All right, so let's look at the cats. Let's check it out. Oops. And there we go. There are a lot of animals in this little tiny book too. I'll tell you something. But if you get the big book, they'll tell you all about the mythology and stuff like that. I've seen the book. I've actually owned the book a couple times and given it away. Yikes. All right, so here's what it says for cats. Cats, independence. Mystery and magic is afoot, but you must find your own way of expressing it. Develop your ability to be more independent. So that is the cat totem. All right. So Bonnie. No, wait. Who's next? Yeah. Tiny miniature dogs. Oh. Okay, but we're just gonna look up dogs. All right. AFD. Dog. Here we go. Dogs are faithfulness. Be faithful and alert to protect endeavors and those closest to you. Look at your companionship as it relates to your success. Okay, so dogs are faithfulness. Okay, Iris. Oh, Dana, we covered butterflies, hummingbirds. Okay, and cardinals. Let me see if there's a cardinal in here. I thought there were. Oh, no, this is the. I need to go to the birds. Birds, cardinal. Cardinal. Cardinal is renewed importance. Accept your life's importance. Accept yourself as a source of light. And do not be afraid to conduct yourself accordingly. So be the light. You can do it, Dana. All right. Birds and butterflies. Okay, so we got butterflies and well, I don't know which bird you want, but you know what we could do? We could go here and we could read about birds. So birds in myths and tales are often symbols of the soul. Their ability to fly reflects our ability to rise to new awareness. They reflect the ability to link the physical realms with those of the sky, heaven. Because of this, they are the most frequent messengers of spirits and angels. Birds link the waking with the dreaming. They are all given to flights of fancy, a phrase often used to describe our dreams and imaginations. As totems and spirit animals, each bird has its own peculiar characteristics, but they all can be aids for inspiration, hope, and new ideas. So that is like the first thing he talks about with birds. All right. So I'm going to go down. Hold on. Hawks, eagles, dragonflies, and dogs. Okay, so we did dogs. So we're in the bird section right now. So hawks, eagles. So we're going to do eagle first. Eagle. There it is. The eagle is healing visions. So spirit vision and healing surrounds you. Look at things from new perspective. Take a different path. Trust what you are becoming. Okay, so we're going to go to hawks. Let's see. Hawk. There he is. Hawks are guiding vision. Spirit vision and guardianship surround you. Be patient and observe. You will see the opportunities. Signs are clear. So I've seen eagles and hawks hunt. Like they used to dive bomb this river. And I've seen them actually go in and like, they're so cool because they fly down. They're so patient. They fly across the stream or river. And then poof, they get a bird. Wow. Right, so we talked about bees. I love fuzzy bees. Yes. You have bees all over your kitchen. Oh, good. Yeah. I love bees. Oh, gecko lizards. Okay. Oh, wait. We didn't do dragonflies. Hold on. We got to go to the dragonfly. Dragonflies. Oh, wait. I skipped a page. The dragonfly. There it is. Dragonflies. All right. So this is for you too, Kim. Dragonfly. Time to shine. Trust in the power of your light and your perceptions to succeed. Efforts are maturing. Spiritual path ahead. So there you go. So trust in the power of your light. You're pretty light there, Kim. You are rocking. All right. Marlene, we're doing a gecko. Let's see. Oh, wait. These are insects. Okay, so gecko and praying mantis. Okay, so we'll do the praying mantis. There it is. Praying mantis. Stillness. Be patient for success. Be alert to opportunities and to dangers. Develop stillness and trust in your intuitive abilities. Okay. And so we need to go to for the geckos. Gecko. There he is. Geckos take action. That's their thing. Take action. Do what must be done in struggles and to handle pests. Express righteous anger. Expressing righteous anger is necessary. Bring home conflicts to end them. So when you're home, this is what I tell people all the time. If you need to throw a hissy fit, go ahead. It's okay to throw a hissy fit. That's what I do. When I get home sometimes, I throw a hissy fit. If I get really mad, because sometimes I have to remain calm through an ordeal, when I get home, I throw hissy, and I'll throw a full-blown hissy fit. I will jump up and down, make all kinds of growly noises, and just to release it. So those geckos can remind you to go ahead and release your anger safely. All right? Take action with that. Don't let stuff stay in you. Let it go, because the more you let it go, the less of a burden you have on yourself and the better you feel. So if you have to have the hissy fit, go ahead and have the hissy fit. It's okay. Just do it. And I know it seems ridiculous, but you feel so much better afterwards. All right. So we did cardinals, butterflies, and dragonflies. Yep. Oh, morning glories. Yes, those are really good for hummingbirds. Yeah. Hawks. I love hawks. They're so beautiful. Yeah. I'm sorry they're eating your seedlings. Yes. All right. So that's what we got for this. So if you guys want to get one of these, just to take with you, it's called Animal Speaks. It's by Ted Andrews. I got this one from Amazon. I think I got it from Amazon. And there's a bigger book called Animal Speak, and it's big. It's about this thick, about 6x9, I think. And it has the myths and it has stories and all kinds of cool stuff about each animal. And he does birds, animals, insects, and reptiles. And he also has like the ancient ones, like dragons. Oh, the lizards are eating. The geckos are eating your seedlings. I don't remember geckos eating seedlings. Maybe they do, huh? I remember them eating bugs. And because I had geckos in Florida and in Hawaii, and they would eat the bugs. It's great. Those little geckos are fearless. They are. They'll go after something bigger than themselves. Cool. Oh, horses. I missed that one. Horses. Okay, so we'll do horses. Let me see. Find it. And then, oh no, not that. Here we go. Horse. Movement. Okay, so horses. Continue forward in your efforts with discipline. New journeys are ahead. Stretch your freedom and power. Oh, you have pet lizards. You can feed pet lizards fruit and veggies. Oh, huh. I don't know that much about lizards. I've only seen like the ones that like geckos and other lizards, and most of the lizards that I've seen are, you know, like in the wild. I don't have pet ones. Whew, I don't think I could do it. All right. So Henry and I want to wish you an awesome week. Remember to stay safe, stay present, and keep your heart open and aligned with the energy of love. And I'll see you next time. Bye.